EVs might have been the future of the industry, but this new engine will be the end of them. Imagine cruising down the street in your shiny new ride, and everything feels different: no rumbling engine, no exhaust fumes, just pure, clean power. Sounds like science fiction, right? Or an EV. Well, GM's about to make this a reality, and it's going to be better than electric engines. It is more convenient, cheaper, and, most of all, greener. How? Well, it uses air as a power source. And works similar to ICEs, which means the transition wouldn't be that hard. This bad boy will change everything we know about cars, and I mean everything. Why is this a big deal? When a big player like GM goes all in, you know it's going to shake things up. But I know what you are thinking: we have seen a lot of new engines that promised improvement, and they didn't deliver. But this isn't some far-off dream or a concept that'll never see the light of day. GM's putting their money where their mouth is, and they're determined to bring this tech to your driveway. To be honest, they don't have any other option right now, with their EV plans failing and bleeding money every day. This is a make-it-or-break-it moment for them. But the good thing is that this nifty piece of engineering operates on a pretty straightforward concept, using compressed air to make pistons do their magic. First up, let's talk about air compression. The first process is sucking in air into a compression chamber, pumping up the pressure until it's ready to unleash its power. This is very much like packing a suitcase tightly until you can barely zip it up. Intense, right? And once all that air is cozied up in the chamber, it's time for a party. When the pressure hits that sweet spot, it bursts free, shoving the piston outward with a burst of energy. This magic moment turns the potential energy of the pressurized air into kinetic energy, a fancy way to say it gets things moving. Imagine letting go of a tightly held balloon. The rush of air is just that exhilarating. Now, when the piston pushes out to do its job, it doesn't just hang out there. After doing its duty, the piston has to make its grand return for another cycle, right? So what did they do to make this happen? Simple: enter the spring mechanism that helps the piston slide back into its cozy spot, like a well-trained boomerang getting ready for its next throw. So, what's next? This is where the magic really shines. The whole process keeps cycling, providing continuous motion as long as there's enough air supply. It's like a never-ending game of tag, but with air as the star player. Who knew something so simple could work out so effortlessly? It really makes you wonder why no one has ever tried it before, but they actually have. Ready for a mind-blowing fact? The story of compressed air vehicles goes way, way back. We're talking 19th century old. Imagine strolling through the streets of Paris, and instead of horse-drawn carriages, you see sleek trams gliding by, powered by nothing but air. Cool. Now, you might be thinking, if air-powered vehicles were so awesome, why aren't we all driving them now? What happened to them? Short answer: the internal combustion engine, the muscular new kid on the block that knocked air power off its pedestal. But some people didn't just lose hope yet. In the early 2010s, Peugeot made something incredible. They've cooked up this crazy hybrid powertrain that combines a regular gas engine with, get this, compressed air technology. They called it Hybrid Air, and they showed it off in a tricked-out Peugeot 2008 crossover. We're talking a hydraulic motor unit paired with a compressed air energy storage system, all working alongside a conventional gas engine. It's like they took the best of both worlds and mashed them together. But here's where it gets really juicy: this bad boy promised fuel economy that would make a Prius faint. We're talking up to 81 miles per gallon in normal driving conditions. And in the city? It could have been even better. Oh, and did I mention it was supposed to be cheap? Peugeot claimed this air-breathing beast would be 45% more affordable than those fancy electric hybrids. That's right, eco-friendly and wallet-friendly, the dream team. Plus, this system was so green it made EVs jealous. No rare earth elements, no lithium, just good old-fashioned air. So, what happened? Why aren't we all zooming around in air-powered cars, laughing at gas prices? Well, that's where things get a bit murky. Despite all the hype and promise, Peugeot quietly shelved the project. It's like they threw a massive party, got everyone excited, and then ghosted us all. Not cool. Now, we don't know exactly why they pulled the plug, but maybe the tech was trickier to implement in the real world than they thought. You know how sometimes things work great on paper but fall flat in practice? It could have been like that. Or perhaps it was a money thing. Even though it was supposed to be cheaper than electric hybrids, it might have still been too pricey to make a profit. After all, car companies aren't charities, they've got to make that sweet, sweet dollar. There's also a chance that electric cars just started taking the spotlight. And let's not forget corporate shenanigans. PSA Group, now part of the megacorp Stellantis, might have just decided to put their eggs in a different basket. You know how it is with big companies, sometimes they do the opposite of what they are expected to do. For now, though, Peugeot's hybrid air system remains one of those tantalizing what could have been stories in the automotive world. The good thing is that it shows GM what not to do. But Peugeot's not the only one who tried this. There is one more car that achieved riding with only air. And the stats on this bad boy are pretty impressive. So let me break it down for you. This little urban warrior could supposedly cruise for about 125 miles on a single tank of air. And the AirPods exhaust? Pure, clean air. That's right, folks, the only thing coming out of this car's tailpipe is the same stuff you use to fill balloons at birthday parties. Can you imagine a world where traffic jams actually clean the air?
And yet, despite all this momentum, the road to full electrification is proving to be far more difficult than expected. First, there's the issue of charging infrastructure. While urban centers and wealthier regions are seeing more charging stations, vast parts of the United States, and many developing countries, remain underserved. In rural areas or along long-distance routes, charging access is limited and often unreliable. Fast charging technology is improving, but it still takes significantly longer to charge an EV than to fill a gas tank. That time gap is a major deterrent for buyers who travel frequently, live outside city centers, or simply want convenience. Second, battery production is expensive, complex, and resource-intensive. EVs rely on rare and difficult-to-extract materials like lithium, cobalt, and nickel. Mining these materials raises serious ethical and environmental concerns, including water pollution and labor exploitation. Additionally, most of the world's battery supply chain is controlled by China, creating geopolitical risks and supply vulnerabilities. Even though battery costs have decreased over the past decade, they remain the single most expensive component of an electric vehicle, accounting for up to 40% of its total cost. Then, there's the issue of affordability. The average price of a new electric vehicle in the United States is still above $50,000, far out of reach for most working families, even with government subsidies.